run by American companies, you know. At the end, it's not like Saudi corporations, you know.
I'm not so certain of that. I think it used to be
Quite
that.
fine.
I think it used to be that America was like the biggest power, but nowadays, I think India, China, Japan, they're becoming the world power.
China's maybe edging more. India's GDP is only 2 trillion a year, which is like less than the UK.
That's true.
So like, I don't think India could be a superpower with a better
They're a
management.
huge country, like
It's a huge country, democracy, with better management, they could be a superpower. But at 2 trillion a year, I mean, I think India's tax revenue was something like 50 billion annual tax revenue. Apple computers makes 200 billion a year in revenue. So India ain't a superpower. Apple's more of a superpower than India.
Yeah,
you know?
but they're developing. I think
They're developing. They could be. They could be.
They're far behind China, but they're still like
China's GDP is 11 trillion about.
That's crazy.
So it is 2. I think the EU is like 15, 16 or something.
Yeah, but that's a bunch of.
And the US is I think 16 or 17 too. But like on your Trump point, like about yes that yeah, America is a superpower, and I guess this is a very, very deep question. The U.S. president should be reflective of the entire world sentiments, because we all look up to the U.S. president as like the president of the earth, like at least culturally in a way now, you know, like because we're all observing it, we're all having an opinion about it. Who knows who's the president of fucking, I don't know, like Timbuktu or Zimbabwe? Why do we give a fuck about that guy? You know, he's also president, he's a sovereign state. But this state matters the most, actually. And it does, because otherwise we all would be afraid or not afraid to talk about it or not, you know, in the first place. Or we would all be so aggressive about anybody who harbors an opinion on any side, anywhere in the world. So does that mean that maybe as a world would we all be happy to be American statesmen? If Americans say, well, if you have so much an opinion, and you were so worried about immigration, would you all want to just enroll as American states? Have a flag, you know, liberty and justice for all, you know, like our kind of like democratic senate, you know, we'll give you all representation, you know, pay our taxes to our Federal Reserve, our central body, use the dollar. Maybe a lot of people will be like, okay, why the fuck not, you know? I don't know.
I mean, the dollar is popular in other countries.
In many countries, the dollar, because their own currency, they can't manage. So I mean, they've done something right, you know?
Yeah.
I think there is an idea that the road to hell is paved with intentions. I mean, hell's probably an incredible place, so I mean, for me that doesn't apply, but I think for most people who don't want to have all the pleasures and fun of hell, I don't know, whoever you're out there, they want to enjoy that, but for you, perhaps you have to consider that that maybe sometimes what's seemingly good and has good intent doesn't actually fit the human condition physically. Because intention is like a abstract concept that you can generate philosophically in your mind, but everything that we generate in our mind is an imaginary thought that we want to apply to a physical reality and distribution of resources in a fair government has to be physically done then. The limitation of human beings. So you might have a great thought and you have the physical capacity to do it yourself. How do you communicate to everybody and give them the same drive you have? And someone's going to break down. And there's something in the American model of like, I guess called capitalism, more liberal or free market economy, that they could generally keep a society more organized than many, many other countries. So they adopt the dollar, for example, you know? Something they probably adopt from the UK and the Netherlands anyways in the first place, because that's where those kind of market policies came from. So that being said, that sometimes like it may seem really bad to like the stuff you're taught in our interaction, like I should be good to you, you should be good to me. But when you're running a state, maybe that doesn't work directly in running a state if you want the state to be at its optimum, providing the best it can for everybody in like the limitation of human laziness. Just to begin with, you know, like a lot of people tend to be lazy.
Yeah.
I can be lazy sometimes.
Okay, macht on cut. Alright, so what do you think are the main differences between Germany or German people and American people?
The main differences.
Or what they have in common? Just in general.
Main differences. Many more American women like Trump than German women. Probably true though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's probably the main difference right now. But I think like the American culture is generally more outgoing. You know, like it's more like maybe as Americans, like we are more in your face. Like we like we get down to business where, you know, like, say if you were occupied by a very awful militaristic dictator, force will come in and like free you. No, I'm kidding. I read you that one. So yeah, but I think like the main difference between America and Germany, the people, is that you're more efficient. So you're all about, you know, you want that 2-liter engine to give you 300 horsepower. So you don't, and you spend a lot of time tinkering with it. We're like, nah, I want to, you know, get that engine as fucking big as I can. So when the girl walks down, she sees it looks bigger. Because if it looks small, she's not gonna get it, you know. So we like everything to be big and powerful. We both love power.
Put a V8 and everything.
Put a V8, V12, you know, and like we get 500 horsepower out of 6 liters. Well, you probably get 500 horsepower out of a 3-liter Porsche. We did Dodge Viper to get 500 horsepower. So you're much more efficient, but we produce a powerful result. I think German and American people, we have like this desire to create a great result in whatever we do. You know, we want to be the best. We want to be champions. We want to. We like to push ourselves. You know, but we have different ways of doing it. I think whereas I think German people are much more specific, are much more, you know, like are more introverted and intrinsic into getting the same result. We just bash straight fucking through because we're like, well, wait a minute, why did I gotta do that? Why did I sit down? I'm like, damn, my favorite sitcom's on TV soon, you know? I want to watch the big booty of Kim Kardashian, you know? I ain't got time to fucking tinker with no fucking 3-liter shit. Why gotta put a few more valves in that shit? Fucking going, I've got time for the Kardashians, and I got 500 horsepower. Oh yeah, you do there. Oh, your gas prices, my gas is half the price of that. So, like, fuck off, you know? Like, that's what we're like. But whereas I think more polite in Germany, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the difference. Like, we both have a different means to get towards power. We prize efficiency. We prize being brash and being like very straight and direct. I think what else can I say in differences between Germany and America? I think Germans are better educated. So you know where America is. Many Americans will still know where Germany is. They'll think it's like somewhere near Paris. If they know where Paris is in the first place, you know. So like I think you're much better educated about the world, you know. Like I think German people, especially German young people I meet, they seem like very well aware of, you know, like international events and affairs and stuff like that, and I think in America we're not. We're a little bit like ignorant, you know, but we kind of value ignorance because we feel like and we have a comment on this stuff because we're both trying to forget our history a little bit. We're trying to forget that we were colonies of different European empires. That we're all free and independent. And we invented everything. We're so innovative, but really we adapt a lot of technology from Europe. We're actually adapters, not innovators. We're the best adapters. Maybe you can call it like ripping shit off even, you know? We're similar in the fact that we try to forget our histories, and I think that we use a common ground that we're trying to fill in something for the future. So we have like this need to like create. We're both very creative countries, you know? We want to build things, we want to manufacture, we want to, you know, like advance technologies, we want to send satellites to space, like we like to really strive for these things. So like I think that's how we're similar, that we have to fill our void of history to create something more exciting for the future, for our identities.
That's why we're more successful than other countries, I guess.
I mean, I don't know why Germany and America don't just, you know, why are we fighting each other always? That's what I'm saying, you know? Forget the EU, like, let's forget NAFTA. Let's have like, let's call it the US-German Union. I mean, people in America wouldn't even mind having Germany in the name because everyone knows it's a scary name, you know?
That'd be a new world power.
Yeah. I mean, Russia's not gonna do what they're gonna do about it. We don't need NATO. There's Germany and America, you know, everybody, that's it. We'll just put military bases everywhere. And all the young Germans speak English anyways, you know?
Right.
I mean, they're not gonna complain if we can't learn German because we're a bit slow. We're like, oh, we speak English. So
Yeah.
why not? I mean, what do you guys think of the dollar though?
When we think about the dollar,
No, would you take on the dollar from the euro? Because now you got the euro. But I mean, like the euro isn't even, it's not called the German, the Germo or anything, is it? That's not called the Germo.
The Germo? What do you mean by that?
So what I'm saying is, why do you want to have the euro when we could like call it the USG dollar? You know what I was saying? Because the euro got the Germo in it, and we all the euro we only survived because of Germany. So I'm saying, why isn't it called like the Germo or like I don't know, the G euro, the euro mark or some shit? Because that's what it really is. Let's face it. It's not a euro dollar, it's not a euro pound, it's not a euro franc, it's a euro mark. Ain't it? Because that's what's really financing all actually. But we know that. We know Germany makes the euro actually work. Because I mean, if you live in France, they'll start like spending it on a railroad that won't ever work. You know, like. If you leave it to Greece, well, forget it. You know, it's gonna be like up in like Mount Olympus. You know, like in what God knows what island there. But Germany makes this shit go. So I'm saying, wait a minute. Why are we carrying all the bitches? You know, like we carry the bitches, carry the bitches. You know, like why don't we be like men about it? Come together. You know, fuck it. We got the USG dollar.
You heard it here first. The USG dollar.
I don't know what.
You want to ask again?
What should I exactly ask?
Don't ask me your question. Just say, what do you think is the biggest problem in London right now? You know, and then I'll drop it. So word something like that. You know?
If you want to bring up your knowledge, should we ask you as a politician? Because that's where the knowledge comes from, right?
I don't know where my knowledge comes from. probably smoking a lot of weed in Las Vegas. I don't know.
Because if we do it that way, I would like
you can
introduce you for the video, like
you can introduce me anywhere
to
you
let
want.
the people know who you are, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we can like.
What do you think London's biggest problem is right now?
Well, for me, the biggest problem in London to this day, at this very moment, is not even like terrorism or this kind of issue. We've had a lot of attacks, and it's really most unfortunate, you know, that people do all these radicalized, ridiculous things when we should all just be smoking weed and having a good time. Steaming weed, because smoking is bad for your lungs. You should quit all smoking actually, and get away with whatever you're doing. But the biggest problem in London for me is air pollution. That's why I said you should not be smoking. You see, I did that up. It's coming. But and that's because smoking is one thing. You see, when you smoke, that's something you decide to yourself or in a group of people, right? You have a choice on it. But the thing is, like, when you go in your car and you push that gas pedal, and even if you're like using a bus, you know, you're using that transport, even if you don't even drive, you're getting your food delivered, someone's burning fossil fuels to make your life a little bit more convenient. And now you're not putting that poison, that pollution from that car into your lungs for the benefits you're consuming. Like with a cigarette, it's just you. Other people involved, their kids involved, you can breathe that air wherever they live. Now you might be thinking like, what the fuck am I talking about? It's just the fucking air, you see nothing. Well, it's particularly a worry for me because these threats are invisible and we industrialize so rapidly. We've not really thought about there could be massive things that could be happening in the underbelly of our civilization that we may not even be aware of because we don't even know how to look at it. Because the front page news is like, oh my god, Putin, he's a big bad guy, or oh, something's gonna explode, or some crazy guy's gonna come and cut your head off with like a black mask. Those are pre-industrial threats, which we as human beings and as society are used to being aware of and being awake to, saying, oh yeah, that's something loud, something noisy, something bloody coming towards me. But threats from industrial advancement, which you cannot even see, could be so spread like poison in the air. They are the ones who have to be really aware of, because of air pollution in London. 9,500 people die each year from air pollution in London. That's like a war, And those people didn't have to die. And this is not me coming up these figures off the top of my head. This is King's College in London who published this data, but they're not on the front page of the paper because these people are not dying in some bloody glamorous way. Even if one person has a bloody glamorous way, it's on the front page. 9,500 are dying in London. Kids who live at polluted streets have a greater proportion, a greater rate of autism and schizophrenia. This is not right. And just now, a university discovered toxic nanoparticles lodged in the brains of elderly people, which match the exact toxic nanoparticles that come out of exhausts from fossil fuel combustion, which lead to Alzheimer's. now you could be sitting all day very well and say, ha ha ha, when I'm driving my car, why the fuck do you care about other people? I'm fine. Well, you know, dumbass, first of all, even if you're sitting in your car, these particles are so small, it means the invisible threat, they penetrate to affect you. And way, way worse than that is the fact that, you know, all this stuff, it's costing you money. Because I hate when people say, oh, it's unrealistic, the environmental agenda and all of that. Well, maybe if climate change itself is potentially unrealistic, that's still a debate. What's for certain is that clean air is definitely a profitable thing for us to engage in immediately, and it saves lives. I'll tell you what, more lives in the UK and London are being lost from air pollution than when Hitler was bombing us in the Blitz. So, you know, we're outdoing ourselves, so now maybe, you know, like, you don't have to feel so shameful in Germany because we're doing worse right now. I'm kidding, but like, but no, but more people die from air pollution than the Blitz here in London. So I gotta think about this. But we don't want to blame ourselves, because in a democracy, we're all driving cars, you know, we're all using these things. So how can we all be wrong? We're the jury, and we're the criminals. It doesn't work like that, I'm sorry. And there's a very important moment in London about this. Not to get too technical, but what pissed me off was, really fucking pissed me off, the Supreme Court of this country, just down the road from us, you know, it passed an order saying the government, whatever its political complexion, should be no doubt in the immediate action on this issue. And you know what? Don't give a fuck in Parliament. Because you know what? The Supreme Court order didn't make a front page. No one even knows about it.
Sure. It's blocked. Well, let me ask this real quick, because like,
You're right, it's blocked.
important. Yeah. How would you say that you could like efficiently fight this enemy of pollution? Like if you say it's a war, and you gotta fight it. How would you do that?
Yeah, well, you know, take a baseball bat and start smashing up any car that's on hydrogen or electric to begin with. You know, I mean, electric I have a problem with too because it's lithium, but for now, we've got to save lives, you know, so whatever saves lives. So just take a baseball bat and take it to town, that car's killing your baby.
Right.
Or if you're not so adamant and you're unsure until somebody else does it, starts it for you, you don't want to lead it that hard, but you could do that, because you'd be saving lives. You could smash up your police vehicle too at this point too, because they're not aware. And lives are being lost. You know, this is how information is spread when it's not done by the news. Now we're in a dilemma, because the court's given you an order. The court is given an order, the police can't enforce it, the army can enforce it. Well then, you have the right to enforce it if you're better aware. You can make your own army on this issue, because lives are being lost. People are being murdered. It is murder. You don't have the right to poison somebody else to death even slowly. It cuts 10, 20 years off your life. You know, like 5 million people die in the world from the 70s. It's the biggest scandal in the world right now, and it's not out there. The media is to blame. It's been blocked. Why? Because we've made cars sexy. We made cars glamorous. They become an extension of like almost the human like reproductive game, you know? Like a guy's got a sexy car, your girl's into him, who Lamborghini, all your rappers with their Ferraris, like it's in every song. So you become conditioned like a Pavlovian dog to associate sex with expensive and fast automobiles that pollute the fucking most. And that's a big problem by the fucking media, who's getting money from automobile companies, Volkswagen, BMW, everyone included. Volkswagen cheated on like a emissions test recently actually, and they got fucked over for it. But they got fined by the EU. Like, but wait a minute, this is the most stupid thing I heard. The EU says you lied about your emissions, and you're saying that it actually only killed so many people. They were supposed to, but they're killing a lot more. I'm like, fucking dumb EU people. You're saying it's killing people, you're only finding them. Shut them fucking down. You're actually putting it on paper. Are you this dumb? Yes, because you're driving a car, you're supposed to come to your work, judge, aren't you? And you can afford an electric car. Because some people say, you know, electric or hybrid vehicles are expensive. But rich people, the Queen has like a fleet of cars here, but they're all petrol, because she too has bought into fucking glamorization of cars, you know? Because yeah, I need the Rolls Royce, the big engine, to show my status, you know? And that's fucked up, because now it's become a psychological issue in our society. And like, I'll tell you one thing that really fucking pissed me off here in London. We have the BBC here. They're financing this show here called fucking Top Gear, you know? Like, this is a government-funded TV channel financing a show about fossil fuel vehicles where they're revving the engines and it's so sexy in a time where we have this air pollution scandal, when the court said fucking do some action. They're spending people's money to make people fall more fucking in love with this shit. Fucking, first of all, you gotta say motherfucking fossil fuel cars suck. Fuck your Ferrari. Not fuck me my Ferrari, fuck your Ferrari.
Don't you think the actual problem is those huge container ships that are putting all of those
Oh yeah.
those bad things in
Oh,
the air?
110%. I mean, I've written a lot on this issue. I have a plan where I believe ships should be converted to hydrogen fuel and solar sails and sky sails and all this stuff. This is not just automobiles. I bring automobiles so people can relate to it straight away, and also the biggest population centers are impacted by automobiles. Like even public transport is buses, you know? Now that's killing people. And they can easily convert public transport to hydrogen and electric, but they don't do it. That's the first place to start. But yes, ships, settlements by the coast, people are breathing toxic gas, you know? And it's a disgusting, you know, like people are being gassed to death. Like you obviously have some experience in your country about people being gassed to death, but you know, we know it's not a good thing. So why do we do it? And with ships, yes, particularly if you're living by a port, you know, why must you suffer when all the goods are coming through your town to be delivered all over the country? Why does your town have to deal with all these like noxious fumes, you know, that you're suffering from, when we can convert ships to solar power, to sky sails, to hydrogen fuel? This is all available. This is a shocking thing. It's available. But you know why hydrogen fuel is not used? Because it is zero emissions hydrogen fuel. Because where'd you fucking fill up your hydrogen fuel tank? Who's gonna invest in that? The government's gotta fucking put the money to put the infrastructure there. But why the government don't do it? It costs about, I don't know, I did this calculation, the UK costs like a few billion to do this, like 2-3 billion, to convert every gas, let's say petrol station here, to hydrogen fuel. But they won't do it. But how the fuck will I buy a hydrogen fuel car if you don't do it? And then you keep advertising with government money, fucking fossil fuel cars, while you're not putting in infrastructure. Fuck you. Now what can you not do? Now the question is, what can I not do in the situation when I'm aware that kids, you know, your younger siblings, they're breathing this shit. They can get like, maybe their grades are bad now, you can say, because they're breathing toxic air, you know, fuck off, you know. Maybe someone gets a heart attack. They say 1/3 of strokes is from air pollution, 1/3 of all strokes. Fucking A, someone gets a stroke in your family. Maybe, how can you be sure it's not from air pollution? Now that you lost a family member, you have a right to retribution, especially if the government does nothing about it, because it's murder. It's not like, oh my god, you know, like somebody, like, I don't know, like broke a nail or some shit and you're gonna sue for like your like a mascara contract in the US. So this is murder on a mass scale. This is genocide. People being gassed to death for a long, long time, you know? Yeah, so
basically then the government would be taking all of the cars away from people and would change basically everyone's life. So do you think
yes,
the government should focus on changing the ships first, like
everything in one go?
electric or whatever?
I mean, yes, everything at the same time, because the whole system, because why should one person have to breathe a poisonous gas and die? So why be slow about this? We say, well, there's a huge problem. We sit down now. Well, I mean, are we like so incapable that we cannot save lives? Like when we had World War II, for example, where people like, well, we're only going to fight on this front or that front. You have to fight on all fronts because lives are being lost. It's an emergency situation. I think because we don't see it, this is why I said it's like in the beginning, it's not like a threat of war. This is worse than a war though, actually, for me. And in history, I believe it'll be remembered when the scientists who are writing about this, but they don't get the media, get their message out there that this is so awful. We should be all like chill in here, like how do we be like fuck, we all, but not us to begin with. Hopefully, it shouldn't start from here. It should start from the top. It should be like telling us we're in an emergency. We have to convert everything. You got rations. I'm gonna come in. We have a plan for you. Don't worry. Because the economy will get a surplus. Because at the end of the day, the World Bank says the world loses 5.1 trillion each year from air pollution deaths and ill health and all sorts of other destruction that it doesn't. The UK loses 2.54 billion a year. It's enough money to like bail out these companies. When the banks failed, we had to bail them out, right? So that's the place to start. Shipping companies, you failed, okay. Automobile companies, you failed. Energy, you failed. You're killing fucking people. It's worse than the bank. They weren't at least killing anybody. They're only committing suicide. They lost their own money, but you're killing other people. Wake the fuck up. Now we'll bail you out because you know we can't replace you. You're too big to fail. Fair enough. And okay, maybe you weren't so aware, but now you are. It's still very wrong, and we have to make monuments for the past and the people who have lost in these lives. Remember, we don't do this again. And we start by bailing them out and giving them money and saying, well, you need money to convert to like electric kind of production or hydrogen fuel. Forget electric. Electric's bad, actually. I hate electric. Lithium. I'm just trying to like placate the matter because it's better than the other stuff, but strict to hydrogen. Make it simple. Convert everything to hydrogen and solar. So now we can centralize it because now we get a chance to create a new energy system. This is the UK. They converted coal to oil burning ships actually when Churchill was the head of the Navy. He was an admiral, and that was 1916. So like they done it once back then. I think now we have much more resources, much more communication. We can do this like in record time. We can be like, okay, ships, automobiles, everything, like in the European Union at least, because there, we have centralized policy, and by no EU law can kill people. We can just bail everybody out. Probably Germany could just run it all by themselves, to be frank, like everybody just follow as usual. And then boom, and you don't stop at the ships. Power station, aeroplanes. And you know what? Hydrogen fuel has been used in rocket ships since the 1960s. And aeroplanes can also run on hydrogen. So why are we fucking running them on this stuff? And hydrogen is lighter as a fuel than say avgas or propane that they use in airplanes, a lighter fuel. It's more in volume, especially the shape of the airplane's fuselage, but you can actually make air flight lighter, which will be cheaper.
More efficient.
Yeah. So why the fuck wouldn't we do it? Good luck to you guys in school.